Hi friends, this is Professor Madhukar again. Today we shall discuss about the concept of mathematical expectation. The concept of mathematical expectation is also called the statistical average concept, right? So it plays a very important role in the advanced probability and random processes, or advanced probability and stochastic processes. A random process is also called a stochastic process. STOCHASTIC, stochastic process. So today we shall define the concept of expectation, and then we shall also derive a few properties of expectation which are very important from theoretical as well as examination perspective. These derivations are very important. Of course, problems based on that also we would be solving. Those are also very vital from learning and examination perspective. So how do you define this expectation, also called the statistical average? First, we shall like to mention that I would like to mention that the expectation of a random variable holds good for both discrete random variables as well as for continuous random variables. So mathematical expectation exists for both DRV as well as for CRV. Okay, now we shall go on to mean or average or expected value. So this is defined like this. The mean of the random variable is given by the summation of the values of the random variable x weighted by their corresponding probabilities. Okay, I shall repeat. The mean of the random variable is given by the summation of the values of the random variable capital X weighted by the probabilities. Okay, I shall tell you what you mean by the term weighted after a few minutes. So here we represent the mean value as by mu x or mx. Okay, let me write that symbol also. I can write mx or I can use mu subscript capital X. Both these symbols are used. Both are same. We use the symbol mx equal to mu x equal to expected value of x, that is E of x. The term E corresponds to the expectation operator. So that's why I write here as mu x. Mu x. Okay. So these two symbols are used in practice. So here E is a linear operator. It stands for the expectation operator. Okay. And both mu x or mx or E of x carry the same meaning. Okay. Now, how do I define the expectation for a discrete random variable is what we are going to see now. The expectation or the mean value of a discrete random variable capital X is simply defined as mu x equal to mx is equal to E of x. It is also written as x bar, capital X bar. That is by placing a horizontal line on capital X. It is simply defined as summation I is equal to 1 to n xi into p of xi. Please note the symbology, very important. These symbols are not created by me. These symbols are used by many mathematicians since the days of yore. That is since many years. Okay. So the mean value of a discrete random variable is simply written as mu x is equal to mx equal to expected value of x. Mu x is equal to mx equal to expected value of x, which is also written as x bar, is simply written as summation I is equal to 1 to n xi into p of xi. So here P means probability. Here P means probability. Okay. So mean. To repeat, mean value of a discrete random variable capital X is simply written as mu x equal to mx equal to expected value of x, which is equal to x bar, defined as summation I is equal to 1 to n xi into p of xi. P of xi is the probability of the occurrence of that event x is equal to xi for I ranging from 1 to n. Capital P is the probability symbol. Okay. Now I hope you are convinced with respect to the notation. So I shall delete this mu x. But in the video and in the problems, we shall be using mx, mu x, x bar, E of x, all these symbols. So please try to remember this. Okay. Yeah, here we are. So we shall move on further. Now, what about the mean value of a continuous random variable capital X? So again, let me write the corresponding symbol. So the mean value of a continuous random variable, or the average value of a continuous random variable, mean is also called average. So mean or average value of a CRV, X is simply written as mu X equal to mx, or which is written as equal to x bar, or this is written as expected value of x. So this is simply defined as integral minus infinity to plus infinity x fx of x dx. The mean value of a continuous random variable is simply written as mx is equal to mu x equal to expected value of x equal to x bar is equal to integral minus infinity to plus infinity x fx of x dx. Okay. So this is how we need to maintain the symbology. Okay. Next, talking about the transformation of a random variable. Now suppose I have a function g of x that transforms the random variable x into another random variable. Then the mean of g of x is simply given by m equal to g of x bar, or mu is equal to g of x bar equal to expected value of g of x, which is written as integral minus infinity to plus infinity g of x into fx of x dx. Let me repeat. If I have a function g of x that transforms the random variable x into another random variable, then the mean of g of x is given as mu is equal to m equal to g of x bar, which is equal to e of g of x is equal to integral minus infinity to plus infinity g of x into fx of x dx. Okay. Next. Moving on further. Talking about the moment variation and standard deviation. So this is the first order moment. Now what about the second order moment or the nth order moment? The nth moment of a random variable x is defined as the mean value of x to the power of n. The nth moment of a random variable capital X. The nth moment of a random variable x is defined as the mean value of x to the power of n. So that's why I write the corresponding value as mean value of x to the power of n is simply given as g of x bar is equal to x to the power of n bar is equal to integral minus infinity to plus infinity x to the power of n fx of x dx. Let me repeat. The nth moment of a random variable x is defined as the mean value of capital X to the power of n. That is g of x is equal to x to the power of n. I am taking g of x is equal to x to the power of n. Then the mean is simply given by g of x bar equal to x to the power of n bar, which is equal to integral minus infinity to plus infinity x to the power of n into fx of x dx. Or I can also write it as xn bar is equal to expected value of x to the power of n. See the different notations. Xn bar x to the power of n bar is equal to expected value of x to the power of n, which is defined as integral minus infinity to plus infinity x to the power of n fx of x dx. Now suppose if I substitute n is equal to 1 here, then this reduces to x bar equal to e of x equal to integral minus infinity to plus infinity x fx of x dx, which is equal to mx or mu x. So when x is equal to 1, okay, when n is equal to 1, not x, when n is equal to 1, when n is equal to 1, this nth order moment reduces to the first order moment, which is nothing but the computation of the mean of a random variable. Mean of a random variable. Okay, this procedure can be applied and extended for any discrete random variables also. Instead of integral minus infinity to plus infinity, I get summation over k x to the power of n into fx of x or px of x I get for the nth moment of a discrete random variable. Okay, next. Let me show the nth order moment formula for a discrete random variable. This we have shown for continuous random variable, right? Now for a discrete random variable, what would be the corresponding formula? So I should write like this. For a DRV X, this is colon, okay? This is colon, don't think it to be negative. It is colon. So I have got X bar equal to mu X. For a discrete variable, I get what I get? I get summation. So X bar equal to mu X is equal to mx is equal to summation for all k xk into fx of xk. This is the formula for the mean of a discrete random variable. Okay, this is nothing but, again, this is bracket. Okay, this is bracket here. Let me write it in a proper way. Let me write it properly. Fx of k xk. Okay, so instead of fx of k, I can also write px of xk also. Now the nth order moment is simply given by x to the power of n whole bar is equal to expected value of x to the power of n. This was e to the power of x, expected value of x, not e to the power of x. This was expected value of x. Now I am writing the nth order moment formula for x to the power of n. I am writing the nth order moment for a discrete random variable x. Let me repeat. Here for a drvx, I wrote the formula for the moment of a first order moment of the discrete random variable x. I shall repeat again. Please listen to me carefully. Here I wrote the formula for the mean of a discrete random variable, which is nothing but the first order moment. Mean or average of a random variable is also called the first order moment. Mean or average is also called the first order moment. So for first order moment is written by x bar is equal to mu x is equal to mx is equal to summation xk into fx of xk for all k. It is nothing but expected value of k. This is for a discrete random variable x. What is the nth order moment of a discrete random variable? So it is xn bar, x to the power of n bar. It is x to the power of n bar. Let me write it properly. So this becomes x to the power of n bar. This bar engulfs x to the power of n. Or this is written as expected value of x to the power of n, which is equal to summation over k xk to the power of n into fx of xk. This is the formula for the nth order moment of a discrete random variable x. Okay, next, if I put n is equal to 1, this reduces to the mean of a discrete random variable. Okay, this is about the story of the definition for the nth order moment of a DRV and a CRV x. You need to remember this formula. We would be using this formula many number of times. We would be solving few problems also based upon this. I hope there is no doubt in this. Instead of if fx of xk, I can also use px of xk also. Okay, this is the PMF. This is the PDF. For a CRV, we use PDF. For a DRV, we use what? A PMF. So for DRV, we use summation. For CRV, we use integration. That's what we are having. You need to remember this formula. Formula are very, very important. If you have any doubt, please SMS me, WhatsApp me, or call me. and listen to the video repeatedly so that you get a hold over the subject. Okay. So with this as the background, this would be there in the video, right? I shall erase this, but in the video it would be there. So there would be no issue for you. Now we go for the mean squared value. The mean squared value is the value that is obtained by substituting n is equal to 2 into the nth order moment. Andre, this is we are calling as equation 1.5.5. If I substitute n is equal to 2 here, then I get the I get the mean squared value, which is written as e of x squared, which is equal to x squared bar. Right? If I put n is equal to 2 into the formula of the nth order moment, I get x squared bar, which is equal to expected value of x squared. That is defined as integral minus infinity to plus infinity x squared fx of x dx. The second order moment, this is the second order moment. The second order moment is also called the mean square value of the random variable x. This is the second order moment. This is second order this is the second order moment. This is also called the second order moment. So mean square value is also called the second order moment. So please note the different name for it also. Okay. So this is the formula for the second order moment when n is equal to 2 for corresponding to a continuous random variable, because I have used integration. Whereas for a discrete random variable x, integration should be replaced by what? Should be replaced by summation. So in such case, I have x bar squared or x squared bar. Sorry, this should be x squared bar. So it should be x squared bar. So x squared bar is simply written as e of x squared equal to summation I is equal to 1 to n xi squared into px of xi or fx of xi. This I can also write it as summation I is equal to 1 to n xi squared fx of xi or px of xi. Okay, these are the formula that we use. This is for a mean squared value of a DRV. This is the mean squared value of a CRV. That's all. Okay, next we go for the central moments. Okay. Please practice the definitions as many number of times as possible. Okay, definitions are very, very important. So please be careful with respect to that. Okay. Next we shall continue further. We shall come for the second order central moments. Sorry, central moments we shall discuss. So the central moments are the moments of the difference between the random variable x and its mean. How do I define? The central moments are the moments of the difference between the random variable and its mean. So difference between the random variable x and its mean. So difference and the subtraction of x minus mx whole to the power of n. So the nth central moment is simply defined as expected value of e of x minus mx whole to the power of n. It is defined as the difference between the the central moment is defined as the moments of the difference between the random variable x and its mean mu x or mx. So that's why the nth central order moment is simply defined as e of x minus mx whole to the power of n. R. I can also write this as expected value of x minus mu x whole to the power of n. This I can also write it as E of x minus mx whole to the power of n, or x minus expected value of x minus mu x whole to the power of n, which is written as integral minus infinity to plus infinity x minus mx whole to the power of n fx of x dx, or I can also write this as x minus mu x whole to the power of n fx of x dx with integration limits being from minus infinity to plus infinity. ಇಲ್ಲಿ mx ಬದಲು mu x ಕೂಡ ಹಾಕಬಹುದು. I can also put x minus mu x whole to the power of n fx of dx also I can put. Okay, these are different symbols that are used in practice. Each textbook uses one different symbols, so that's why I am giving the two symbols that are largely used. So practice the definitions as much as possible. Now comes the variance, very important part. The second central ladder moment, that is, if I put n is equal to 2 into the definition of the central nth central ladder moment, so if I put n is equal to 2 here, so what I get, yeah, there was a power disruption and also internet disruption, so that's why a short break happened unwantingly. Yeah, I was talking about the central moments. The central moments are the moments of the difference between the random variable x and its mean value mx or mu x. So the nth central order central moment is simply defined as E of expected value of x minus mx the whole square, or I can also write this as expected value of x minus mu x the whole squared also. So I can write this as expected value of x minus mx the whole sorry. This I can also write it as expected value of x minus mx whole to the power of n, or expected value of x minus mu x whole to the power of n. Let me write it properly. You can also write it as expected value of x minus mu x whole to the power of n. Okay, so instead of mx, we can also use mu x. So the nth central order moment is simply defined as expected value of x minus mu x whole to the power of n, or that is equal to expected value of x minus mx whole to the power of n, which is written as integral minus infinity to plus infinity x minus mx whole to the power of n into fx of x dx, or I can also write this as integral minus infinity to plus infinity x minus mu subscript n whole to the power of n into fx of x dx. Let me write this. Okay, so I can write this as the nth central moment. The nth central moment can be written as expected value of x minus mx whole to the power of n, or mx can be written in terms of mu x also. So that is equal to expected value of x minus mu x whole to the power of n, which is equal to integral minus infinity to plus infinity x minus mx whole to the power of n fx of x dx, or that is equal to integral minus infinity to plus infinity x minus mu x whole to the power of n fx of x dx. So all these symbols are used in practice. So if I take n is equal to 2, I get the variance. If I take n is equal to 2, I get the variance. So that is simply written as expected value of x minus mx the whole squared, or that I can write it as expected value of x minus mu x the whole squared also. So that is simply written as, so variance is simply written as var of x. I can also write the variance by this symbol sigma x squared. Sigma x squared is written as variance of x equal to expected value of x minus mx the whole squared, or expected value of x minus mu x the whole squared, okay, which is equal to integral minus infinity to plus infinity x minus mx the whole squared into fx of x dx. That is equal to integral minus infinity to plus infinity, as I did here. I also write integral minus infinity to plus infinity x minus mu x the whole squared fx of x dx. Okay. So what does the variance give? See, variance is also written in terms of sigma x squared. Please note the notations. I have used these notations repeatedly in the class, theory class, in the college. So I am using the same notation. So sigma x squared equal to var of x equal to expected value of x minus mu x the whole squared, which is equal to expected value of x minus mx the whole squared, which is equal to integral minus infinity to plus infinity x minus mx the whole squared fx of x dx. Okay. I hope the definition is clearer to you. So what is the physical implication of this variance? So variance basically gives me the randomness of the random variable. What is the randomness, or what is the stochastic sense that is associated with the random variable? That is measured with by giving the variance parameter. Yeah, that's what I told. Variance is also denoted as sigma x squared. I have already told. Now, this is the formula for the variance of a continuous random variable, which we have written. But what is the formula for the variance of a discrete random variable? It comes like this. Let me write it. So for this, sigma x squared is equal to summation x minus mu x just a minute. For a discrete random variable, the variance is simply given by sigma x squared is equal to summation over k xk minus mu x the whole squared into fx of x. For a discrete random variable, sigma x squared variance is given by summation over k xk minus mu x the whole squared into fx of x. Okay. Because for a DRV, we replace the integration by summation. Next, we can put the formula for variance in a different way also, in another very easy format, which I would be using in solving the problems also. So what is the variation that I am going to use? So it is this. I have got sigma x squared is equal to E of x minus mx the whole squared, right? I have, let me first simplify this. What I have written would be there on in the video lecture, so nothing worrisome. You can write down the things that I have written on a separate sheet and also practice. Now coming to the main case here, I have got sigma x squared is equal to expected value of x minus mx the whole squared, or x minus mu x the whole squared. Now expand this. This is x minus mx is of the form a minus b the whole squared. This x minus mx I have, right? So this is of the form a minus b the whole squared. So a minus b the whole squared is can be written as a squared minus 2ab plus b squared. A minus b the whole squared can be written as a squared minus 2ab plus b squared. So that's why I am expanding this and writing here. So a squared means x squared. B is mx plus mx squared. So plus mx squared minus 2ab. So minus 2x mx. This is of the form a minus b the whole squared. So a minus b the whole squared means a squared minus 2ab plus b squared. So a is x. So a squared x squared minus 2ab minus 2x mx. So what I have written here plus b squared plus mx squared, or plus mu x squared if you use the other symbology. Now since the expectation operator denotes average or mean value, it is henceforth linear. So that's why what I can do is I can take the expectation of individual of this each and every term here. I can take the expectation of the each and every term within this bracket here. Okay. I can take the expectation of all the three terms individually. So I can write e of x squared minus expected value of 2mx into x plus expected value of mx squared. Apply the expectation operation on the individual variables inside it. So this becomes e of x squared, which I have written here. Next, minus 2mx into expected value of x. 2 is a constant, mx is a constant, mean is a constant. The expectation operation does not operate on constants, because expectation operation of a constant is a constant itself, which we are going to prove shortly. The expectation value of a constant is a constant. Expectation of a constant 2 is 2 itself. Expectation of a constant 2 lakhs is 2 lakhs itself. Similarly, expectation of a constant say b is b itself. So that's why expectation operator, that is e, will not operate on 2 and mx, because 2 is a constant, mx is constant. It will only operate on the random variable x. Please note, very very important concept. It will operate on x. That's why when I am taking the expectation of each and every term, so e of x squared will come here. E of x squared will come here. Then I have expected value of 2mx into x, but 2mx is constant, so that is not perturbed, that is not disturbed by the expectation operation. So that's why I get minus 2mx as it is into e of x, of course. Now e will operate on only x, so that's what I have written. Minus 2 mx into e of x plus expected value of mx squared. Expected value of mx squared. Mx is a constant, mx or mu x, which is mean, is a constant. So if a constant is, if a term is a constant, then the term squared is also a constant. If I take a constant term, the constant squared is also a constant only. No, I have a constant 2. 2 squared is equal to 4. That is also constant. Similarly, mx, when mx is constant, its squared value mx squared is also constant. So e is not going to operate on mx squared, because expected value of a constant is a constant. So expected value of mx squared would be mx squared only. Very very important concept. Now in the next step, expected value of x is nothing but mx, mean. Expected value of x is nothing but mx. So I get e of x squared minus 2mx into mx plus mx squared. Mx squared can be written as mx into mx can be written as mx squared. So minus 2mx squared plus mx squared. So minus 2mx squared plus mx squared is minus mx squared, because minus 2 sign is there with the greater number. So I get sigma x squared is equal to e of x squared minus mx squared. Sigma x squared is equal to e of x squared minus mx squared. So we conclude that the variance is equal to mean squared value minus square of mean value. Variance is equal to mean squared value minus square of mean value, or I can write it as sigma x squared is equal to x squared bar minus mx squared. Variance sigma x squared is written as x squared bar minus mx squared. Very very important result, which is important. Very very important result, which you would be using also. So this derivation is very very important. Next, variation of a discrete random variable is simply given by the same formula. Sigma x squared is equal to e of x minus mx the whole squared. equal to summation I is equal to 1 to n xi minus mx the whole square into p of xi or fx of xi. This mx can be written in terms of mu x also. Standard deviation. So positive square root of variance is called the standard deviation. So it provides the measure, it gives me the measure of the spread over the values of x relative to the mean value. With respect to mean, how much is the spread of the random variable? Right? How much is the spread to the left side of the mean? How much is the spread to the right side of the mean is given by standard deviation. So standard deviation is given by square root of sigma x squared, which is given by sigma x only. So sigma x is given by, substitute the value of variance. So sigma x is given by root of e of x squared minus mx squared. This is for a for any DRV or CRV. Okay. Similarly, we can write the corresponding values of variance for DRV and CRV and obtain the expressions for standard deviation of a DRV and CRV. Okay. We shall continue in the next video lecture. Thank you.